Happy holidays, YouTube. My name is KarQ. We have the director's take, which is an article from the game director, Aaron Keller, to take a look back at Hazard's launch and a look forward to the new year. This is probably the last director's take before we go into 2025. So let's see what Aaron has to say. Hi, everyone. Welcome back to another director's take. A lot has happened since our last blog, the OWCS finals, Hazard's gameplay reveal, our first 6v6 test, and an awesome season 14 launch. If you haven't seen what it takes to put together our newest hero, be sure to check out the broadcast segment from the finals. It was incredible being in Stockholm, meeting so many of you, and working alongside my team and the incredible voice actors and esports talent. The whole event was really special. Everyone talks about their meatballs, but I never expected Sweden to have such delicious pizza. As we head into the holidays, we want to check in and talk about some things that we're really excited for in-game. Let's get into it. Okay, we have data, chat. Actual data. This is a juicer. Listen up. During Hazard's trial period, we were blown away about how excited the community was to play him. Based on your feedback and some of the things we saw in his trial, his effectiveness was originally not quite where we wanted him to be at. He was at about a 50% unmirrored win rate across all ranks, and specifically for the higher ranks, 47% only at Masters Plus on PC. When it came time for the Season 14 launch, we targeted improving consistency with the Bone Spur, that's his primary fire weapon, chat, strengthening his spike guard, that's his block, improving his vault passive, that's the wall climb, and reducing some of the less fun aspects of fighting an enemy Hazard. We're happy to see that these changes have largely landed where we had hoped, as Hazard has climbed to a higher unmirrored win rate of 55 and 56% at all ranks and Masters Plus respectively on PC through last weekend. Okay, that's high. Since then, we tuned down his ultimate charge rate a bit in our balance hotfix on Monday. That was 5 days ago. But we've also seen that most of these broader changes positively improved his lethality while leaving his survivability roughly intact, despite the recent buff to the DPS passive. One interesting aspect of Hazard's performance we're keeping our eyes on is a delta between his unmirrored win rate between PC and console. The leap and large aiming changes after can be demanding on a controller. So look at this graph, guys. Before the balance patch earlier this week, he had about a 3 to 4% lower win rate on console compared to PC. This is sometimes the reality for heroes with leaping mechanics in Overwatch 2 on console, as we've seen the same phenomenon with Winston in the past. The large change in aim after can be demanding on a controller, so we'll keep an eye on this as Hazard slays, okay, good one, Aaron, through matches throughout the holidays. If it becomes a problem, we have some ideas on how to bring these win rates closer together. So let's look at this graph over here. During the trial weekend, this is the numbers he said. Everyone was about a 50% win rate. Masters Plus, 47%. When Season 14 has come out, everyone on PC, that looks like 55 to 57% in Masters, and on console, a little bit lower. It's still above 50%. This graph isn't like give you like all the like proper ticks, but it's probably like 52, 53%, a couple percentages lower, 3 to 4% lower, right? So, you know, that's pretty healthy, but it's interesting to see how the slash is that much harder, because all you got to do is leap and slightly look down. Although there is a couple of bits of tech with the leap. If you hold the jump button as you leap, you can bunny hop and delay your slash to give you more time or more of a window of opportunity to find that slash damage. The only big thing I can see on console is definitely the 180 turn slash, where if you overleap a target and you can't slash them on PC, mouse and keyboard, you are able to swing around really quickly and stop your momentum and then slash them there. That's probably the tech they're talking about. But putting that specific tech, I don't know how often high Hazard players are using it, but that generating a 3 to 4% lower win rate is very interesting to me. There's maybe other mechanics, but like Hazard's leap isn't like Winston's, where it's very high levels of tech, where you get the slow leap, the high arcing one, the line drive one. His leap is a pretty standard movement outside of the 180 slash. So I'm actually curious on why it's that big of a discrepancy, because 3 to 4% is a lot between platforms and peripherals. In any case, that's an interesting piece of information that Aaron and the team has been transparent about with Hazard. I will say I'm having a great time with them. 6v6 tests kick off. These tests kicked off this week, and we've enjoyed watching all of you jump into the game mode. Just as a recap, this test brings back the original 2 tank, 2 damage, and 2 support roll queue rule set. There have been some balance changes for this test to adjust for the additional tank. First, we removed a lot of the individual hero passives and tuned down key roll passives. Tanks got the most changes with their roll Q HP bonus obviously removed, but several of them have had HP adjustments to help them survive in the 6v6 environment. Some tank ability reworks like Roadhog's Scrap Gun and Take a Breather, along with Zarya's Particle and Projected Barriers, have been reverted to their original versions as well. Full list of changes can be seen in the 6v6 patch notes. Later on, we will try a new experiment with 6v6 that'll play similar to a quick play hack that we tried last season, where up to 3 heroes of a single role can be on a team, but there has to be at least 1 hero in each role. Basically, max 3, minimum 1, but like an open queue. So as long as nobody locks it in before you, you're able to put at least 3. So you can run, 2-3-1, 1-3-2, or 2-2-2. A couple of limitations, but that's their next rule set. The goal of this is to allow for greater freedom of choice while still ensuring that each team has a semi-balanced roster. If we were ever to make 6v6 a permanent part of the game, this version would eliminate the queue time issues we had in the past. This max 3 minimum 1 rule set will come later this season and could have some balance tweaks based off the current 6v6 mode. We hope to see some competitive and intense actions in both of these experiments. Before Aaron carries on, I will say I've actually enjoyed the 6v6 mode a lot more than I thought. I probably put about like 6 to 8 hours into it already. Mostly community games, but I mostly played tank and I mostly played hazard in it. Some tanks are definitely better than others. I'm a bad Doom, but it felt like Doom was not very good in this. I think DPS Doom reverting that would actually be really cool, but I don't think they're gonna do it. I think hazard's like pretty decent in it. I think Ram is pretty strong. Zarya's pretty good. A couple of heroes are definitely big outliers. They probably definitely need to do some balance changes to Doom. I feel like they should nerf Bastion a little bit because he's exactly the same. He has basically the same HP as some of these tanks. I'm just curious on why they removed some of the quality of life changes. If this is supposed to be a modern iteration of 6v6, I feel like they should keep some modern quality of life changes, such as Reinhardt's steer on his charge, for example. They removed that, but then they kept other aspects and other quality of life changes for different heroes. So I think they need to revisit it. They should definitely look at the data first and see which heroes were performing bad in this current 6v6 mode, and then look at the community sentiment. Some people were upset about, the lack of Genji changes, the fact that his blade does 110 per slash, but everybody has like the modern season 9 onwards HP pool in it. All of these things kind of like a big question mark for the rest of the community, but outside of these specific hero balance decisions, I would say overall the mode is a lot more fun from the tank perspective. I will say though, playing support has been less fun, because you're stuck heal botting a lot more, at least early on. A lot of the tanks that I've been playing with in this 6v6 mode are obviously going in, pretending that feeling like they're still used to the 5v5 solo tank method, where as an Orisa, you can just walk up and like face tank everything. But then, if you actually play Orisa in this mode, you realize you can get crit and fortify, you have less HP, and they have 6 people to shoot you instead of 5. If you're not being careful, and you're squishier. So people are naturally, tanks in this mode early on are not using natural cover as much, is the observation I made. And as a support, you have less offensive agency because you're stuck healing the damn tank that's taking too much damage. And there's no room to like find an angle to do like offensive Kiriko stuff or offensive Ana stuff or offensive Illari stuff. If you leave one of your 2 tanks for just a moment, it feels like people just fall over instantly. I don't think support is as fun in 6v6 unless you absolutely love sticking a rifle up your tank's ass, then sure. But as someone who like played both versions of the game, I played old Ana, I played new Ana on Overwatch 1, Overwatch 2. I definitely preferred playing Ana on Overwatch 2 more than Overwatch 1 because I definitely had more skill expression in terms of like making game-changing picks and things like that, and getting a pick with the crazy sleep dart is worth more inherently in Overwatch 2. But it's probably an adjustment thing that I can get used to again, and I'll be all right. But it's just an quick early observation. In any case, let's move on. 2024 competitive year rewards. On the topic of competitive, this is the last season of the 2024 competitive year, which means you can expect some pretty big changes we're super excited about and think you will be too, coming in 2025. We're not ready to share everything we planned yet, but you should expect a bit of a shakeup like we did at the start of 2024. You're going to love it. So at the beginning of 2024, that's when they did the whole like increased size of projectiles and made everyone's HP pools big. That's their PvP shakeup of 2024. That was last February. When this season ends, I think in early February, they're probably going to do another big shakeup once again. So I'm actually very curious. They said they're going to love it. I really think this is the pickable passes era, where everybody gets a specific one where you can tune, and hopefully they're hero specific. Like if I'm playing Junkrat, I can pick a specific Junkrat passive where I take less splash damage or something to help deal with Pharah, for example. Not like the global 3 DPS passives they had in that quick play hack like 6 months ago, where like some affect others way more than others. Like there's one where it's like faster reload, but like it's an option for Hanzo because it's a global one, but like Hanzo doesn't need it. You know what I mean? He needed his own separate stuff. So I'm hoping it's that. Final thing was new wintry cosmetics to unlock for free. So to celebrate the festivities with you, yesterday we launched a holiday challenge in-game that gives you the opportunity to earn 3 wintry cosmetics. To learn more about the challenge, be sure to read our very rhymy blog from earlier this week. I did not write that, by the way. This is our way to show our appreciation for all of you, and we look forward to seeing you jump in for some merry Yuletide fun while the team is on break for the rest of the year. So that is an Echo, Widowmaker, and Cassidy skin. Speaking of appreciation, when I look back on this past year, I can't help but feel overwhelmed with gratitude for our community and the Overwatch team. There are a lot of amazing games out there, Marvel Rivals, and I'd like to personally thank you for spending your valuable time and ours. Thank you for your involvement, feedback, and passion for our game. It means so much to us. I'd also like to include a huge thank you to the rest of the Overwatch team. Your support for each other and dedication to the game and to your craft bring new and wonderful parts of this universe to life every day. Expect us to come back in 2025 refreshed and ready to share all the things we have in store in the weeks ahead. On behalf of everyone here at Team 4, happy holidays, and may your play of the game highlights shine brightly. Let's make a great game. Aaron Keller. And that is a nice little picture of their office right when you enter. It's cute. All right, good director's take. I have high hopes. I still really like Overwatch. I do play a lot of Rivals right now. I have a separate Marvel Rivals channel, but I'm still rooting for this game to succeed, and I'm not leaving the scene by any means. I want to do both simultaneously. I like both games. I don't want to hear anybody go like, oh, why aren't you uploading Rivals? Rivals is better. Shut the fuck up, man. Just fucking play both games. Okay, anyways, rant over. Goodbye. See you later. Happy holidays.